Hello, Gwen. How are you?
Good. You?
Very good.
How's MCO treating you?
Very good. And the MCO is treating me very good. What about you?
Bored.
Bored. Oh, really?
I'm so bored that I'm starting to do things that I didn't think I'd do.
Oh, really? What are the things that you usually don't do, but that you do during the MCO?
More cook
Cooking
and cleaning.
and cleaning. You never cooked or never cleaned.
Seldom cook and seldom clean. I can say I'm quite a lucky girl because I got people to do that for me.
Oh, nice. But now during the MCO, you thought you picked that up yourself.
Yes, correct. And I saved some recipe actually. I've been always like, on Facebook you scroll and then there's lots of recipe and then I just save the recipe. But then
Oh, okay.
it's just
That's
like
good.
I don't do it, but then
Oh, okay. That's good.
You?
Well, no cooking for sure. Cleaning, yes. I think we have to keep cleaning, right? But cooking, I think I will probably kill myself. So that one I didn't do. But yeah, still busy, still doing a lot of stuff.
Okay. How's your online classes going on?
Very good. Yeah, very good. Online classes now is picking up, of course, because of a lot of people want to educate or upskill themselves, and they're not able to go to outside classes, so they're looking online what is available. So we definitely seen an increase in our online trainings, so that is going pretty well.
Is Coach Alex not here yet?
I did send him the link and ask him if he's coming. Are we live already?
Yeah, actually we are.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Everyone can see you, so you can share the link out from our Facebook page, so you can share the live.
Oh, okay, that's good. Let me just check it very quickly. So everything also good with Property Queen? Everything okay?
Yes, everything is going on as usual except for the events.
Yes, that is of course a little bit slow now, I guess, huh?
Yeah, but then we are still focusing on our write-ups. We're also preparing for our magazine, although it's going to be a little late on publishing, but we've got everything ready.
Okay, that's good.
And we're still creating content for, PQTV and all that. And we can't wait to have you on the show again.
Oh, nice. That's always good. That one I would really...
haven't finished yet. Your taco
not finished yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Still busy. The editors are busy, I guess.
Oh, but I want to let you know that Facebook and StreamYard, right? There's like a 10 seconds delay on Facebook from StreamYard. So maybe whatever we've said here, and then Facebook will delay for like 10 seconds. So take your time.
Yeah, sure. So we actually also use StreamYard for a lot of our interviews. We actually also do it almost a daily interview every day. So we are quite familiar with StreamYard these days. I mean, I only got to know StreamYard when we went into this MCO. And now, it's actually a pretty cool tool, huh?
You're not the only one. Me too. It's like my friend said, hey, let's do a live. I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's use StreamYard. I'm like, sure.
Yeah, it's pretty good, yeah. Yeah, StreamYard is pretty good. You can do very nice thing. There he is, my partner.
Hi.
Alexander C. What's up, man?
Hello, Gwen.
Hi, Coach. How are you? Long time no see.
I'm good, thank you very much. How are you?
I am okay. Still okay. Not yet insane.
Yeah, okay. That's good news.
Yeah. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good too.
How's MCO treating you?
Not yet insane too, so still okay.
We were a little insane before the MCO, actually, huh?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So same old, right?
Our friend was just saying that you haven't come out yet because you're still working out.
No. That's just taco. Yeah.
This is taco. You don't work out at home? You don't work out at home?
Taco?
I
work out at home.
You work at home?
Yeah.
I have a little trick. I live on the 29th floor in KL Gateway, right? So what I do every day, I just take the stairs down all the way down, and then I walk back up again. It's the best workout ever. I have the feeling that my lungs are about to burst out of my body at the 28th floor, and it feels like a real workout.
You have really good stamina. I cannot. I want to die. I do Tabata 2 sets also. I can die already.
Tabata is no joke though. Tabata can.
It's like I can die 2 sets after. Okay, guys. So it's 2. We can start our session. So just a quick introduction. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to PQTV Live. I'm Gwen, your host today. And today we have 2 very special guests from Prop Coach. So let me just simply explain to you what Prop Coach is. Now, Prop Coach International Inc. is a team of coaches, trainers, and thought leaders who are led by example. From diverse backgrounds, they share a common goal of professionalizing the real estate industry around the world. So we have Coach Taco Hedinga and Coach Alexander C, who are the co-founders of Prop Coach, and with many successful trainees under them, and they have published many articles and write-ups on different platforms. Now, Coach Taco also has his own talk show on Property Queen's new series, PQTV. It's called Taco Talks.
Yeah.
Taco Talks.
That's hearing.
I wish I had the effects that I can go clap, 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 clap.
Yeah.
It's coming soon, though. Coming soon. I just ordered my equipment.
That's cool. Okay, nice.
So today we'll be talking about what real estate agents can do during MCO. It's just going to be a casual one. So I'll be asking you guys questions, and then you guys just give us your thoughts. So we start with Coach Taco first. So the question would be, real estate agents are worried that they are unable to get sales during MCO. So what are some suggestions to help them gain some sales during this time? So this question will go to both of you, but we let Coach Taco go first.
Well, first of all, as a real estate agent, you have to understand that, we are in an MCO, but the property market just keeps going, either in an MCO or not in an MCO. We all have to live. We all need a roof on top of our head. We all need to rent. We all need a place to stay. Real estate properties is still a basic need for every single human being in the world. So, transactions are happening. Professional real estate agents are closing deals, both in sub-sale as in project. Rental deals are still moving forward. Yes, I agree. They are being done in very different situations and very different circumstances. But, I believe that 80% of everything right now has to do with the mindset of the agent. If you go into this MCO and you believe that everything is shut down, you are not able to move, there will not be transactions done, that is true. Then if you believe that, then that is true. But the adaptation of an agent to the circumstances, what's happening in the market, and I agree that the circumstances are pretty tough, and they came very unexpected. But that's the key of success, right? The key of success is that you must be able to adapt to any market situation. How heavy that is, right? Yes, it's a heavy crisis, but if you can adapt to it and if you can innovate in that situation, you will be closing deals. You will be able to talk to people. I myself, I'm not an official agent, but even I am being reached out by international people outside of Malaysia that are asking me, hey, what is now available in Malaysia? What deals are coming available right now during the MCO? So there's a lot of people out there as buyers that are requesting information right now, because a shift in the market means that people shift with it, right? They see opportunity in there. So the question to an agent would be, are you providing those opportunities to your database, to your relations, to the people that you know? And the same is for the seller side, and even for developers, right? Alex and I talked to quite a few developers over the last 2 weeks. These people are making transactions. They're doing real transactions right now because their marketing keeps going. Of course, the message has changed since a few weeks ago. But the ones that are not doing any transactions are the ones that didn't do anything, that went into this MCO with the idea, okay, we have to wait. Why are you waiting? Who told you to wait? Nobody asked you to wait. the key is right now that you, as fast as you can, adapt to the situation, and that you find innovative ways to present to clients, to meet clients, to talk to clients, like we're doing right now, right? We're meeting each other through this wonderful software, StreamYard. The whole world is on Zoom right now. The only thing that is different than a few weeks ago is that the physical contact is not there, but all the rest has remained the same. So who said you're not able to do any transactions? You can do many transactions as long as you first believe in it yourself, adapt your business to the circumstances, and then go all in. I literally mean all in. You have to work harder than before. You have to push harder. You have to do more numbers. You have to do more calls. But if you're willing to do the work, you will definitely get the results.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. What about Coach Alex? What is your take on this?
My take on it is, just building on Taco, because, Taco and I talk a lot about this. I think the first thing that every agent out there has to really realize is this, right? Nothing's going to be the same anymore.
Yeah.
I know you hear a lot of people hear that in the media these days, right? But and the many resources out there, right? So the bottom line is nothing's going to be the same, because economy's changing. We're in a shift right now, in the middle of the shift, right? And so that means now just building what Taco said, it's about understanding that the past, how things used to work, will no longer work anymore, right? So that means we need to change our mindset and we need to adapt, right? But I'm going to say one thing which has remained the same for real estate, which still remains the same. It will always be the same, right? Is that real estate is a people business, right? It's about building relationships. And the thing about building relationships now is that, Taco and I, we had the opportunity of interviewing, we had interviewed someone really influential just last week as well. He goes by the name of Dr. Gerard Koh. And basically he said this, right? He said that, the only difference now, pre-MCO and post-MCO or during MCO, is the physical, to be physically in front of each other, you know? I know some of you probably say, but nothing beats face-to-face. True, right? But that doesn't mean that we still that we cannot connect at all, right? So, this, just to sum up on this point also, is that, out of all now Taco and I have had the fortune and opportunity to meet a lot of agents who have been closing, right? And I'm going to tell this to all of you out there, all these agents who are watching, right? The common trait between all of them, they all called, all to build relationships, all to basically to say hello, how are you doing? They didn't really talk about property, by the way, right? They all started with relationship building, right? And then only they went into real estate, and then they started talking about real estate when it came to it, right? Okay. So that's the big trend, that's the big pattern between all the people who are closing during the MCO.
Okay, so the both of you mentioned the same thing, which is to continue building relationships, continue calling your clients, continue following up on them. So is this what they should do during this MCO time? Maybe Coach Taco first.
If this you mean the relationship building part?
Yeah, as in continue calling, continue following up on the clients. Because both of you mentioned the key thing is to continue calling, making those calls, continue contacting your clients. Is this what they should do?
That is kind of the obvious thing, right? That is something that they should always have done. The thing is, of course, we try to remind them, but at the same time, Alex and I always tell people we actually kind of thought that was the obvious thing that you should be doing, right? Keep building those relationships, keep following up with them. If you go into the MCO taking a huge break, now for already 3-4 weeks, you're going to come out there probably having to rebuild your whole basically your whole setup, right? So that is a given, that the relationship building should still be there, should even increase, and you have to find more innovative ways to reach a bigger audience, right? Because many agents out there still are built on the one-to-one model, right? So that they have a lead, they have a one-to-one meeting, and then they proceed to potential close, right? But agents right now have to step out of that comfort zone, that they become more aware of how to address an audience, right? How to inform an audience. And we already have tools for the past 10 years that are able to do that, right? Facebook Live, things like we're doing today, but webinars, other platforms have the same way of doing that. Instagram, you can do an IGTV. There's so many ways you can reach out to an audience. The first step, and sometimes it seems so obvious, but I'm still going to say the first thing that you just need to become comfortable with is, instead of the one-to-one, you become one-to-many. You can do it with multiple people at the same time. Build that audience, build that authority in your market, that people are willing to follow you, to listen to you. But you also must be willing to listen to your followers, of course, right? But the relationship building is a given. But the question is, how is this relationship going to change from pre-MCO? And that is really all about, like, the one-to-one is very difficult right now, because you cannot go out and meet people. You can have 1,000 Zoom meetings a day, but then that's just a lot of work. So now agents have to think, okay, how can I go into a group of people and really give as much value as possible that is not going to take all of my time? Because in the meantime, I also need to do other prospecting. I do have to do some other marketing. I have to do some closing. I have to do some briefings. I maybe have meetings with my agency. So how can you leverage, and I'm not talking technology specific, how can you leverage on your time and the tools to reach out as many people as possible? I think that's the big innovator of where we are in right now.
Okay. What about you, Coach Alex?
Yep. Again, I actually, now that you're talking to me, right, going and talking to us, right, you're making me realize that over the past weeks, I've been seeking truth, right? What are some absolute truths? So I've talked about two truths. Nothing's going to be the same. We talked about real estate. It's a relationship building business. And I'm going to share two more truths, right? Is that, number one, looking at how this MCO is panning out now, I think it's, for me, at least personally, this is becoming a truth of my own, but maybe you guys agree too, is that the future is in the digital world, right? It's a no-brainer now, right? For those of us before who are like 50-50, like, and not really, but now it's just obvious, like, look, you got no choice to get into it, right? And those who have gotten into it are getting results already.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a very big thing, right? And the second thing now is that, which is building onto what Coach Taco said, right? It's got to do with marketing, right? It's really got to do with marketing, and this one line actually came to me just yesterday itself, right? And it's as simple as this: if you are not seen now, if you're not seen now, people can't see you now, you will probably not be seen later on, right?
True that.
And so right now, I think some of us are beginning to wake up and get into it. And I think the quicker that we can do that, then the better it would be to keep going, right? And it starts with those calls. But those calls, okay, then just one added point on the calls as well. I do know that some of you will probably say that, but I can't keep saying the same thing over and over again, right? That's where what Taco mentioned, you got to leverage on social media. You got to put out content, right? Get them to follow you and then leverage on that content. And then that's how you can follow up with them. You got something to talk about. Yeah. So that's my take.
Nice one. Nice answer. Very nice. Very good. Very good, Alex.
Very, there's like lots of substance there where our agents actually really follow you guys and learn from you guys as well. Oh, and of course, guys, they also have their own online classes. So you guys can sign up with them and join them for their online classes. Okay, so the next one. Okay, this one we go the same question, but for you guys too. Okay, so
we do a little high five in the screen all the time.
I also want to do, but wrong
okay, other side.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, bum.
I don't even know which one's my left and right anymore. Because this one is the other way around. Okay, anyway, the next question is, in your opinion, do you think that the property market will face a high retrenchment rate of property agents? Okay, we let Coach Alex go first.
Okay, high retrenchment. Oh man, you want the real question? You want the real answer? I'll give it a real answer, right? I'll give it a real answer. is going to come down to each and every one of you, your individual choice, right? Because it's as simple as this, right? I mean, yes, there will be some of us who will really, maybe we enter the industry at a wrong time, right? And maybe we don't have enough sufficient funds and things like that. Yes, that's bound to happen. That's very common in real estate, right? But for those of you who are already in real estate, right, it's going to be a matter of choice, right? It's really going to be a matter of choice. So you want to talk about retrenchment? Yeah, I'll say those who are going to get retrenched, you brought it upon yourself, right? And I'm going to say it straight up because, you know, the only way that would happen is because you're not making money. You're not making money because why? You're not doing the necessary fundamentals, you know, to get your business going, right? And you can still go, and let me repeat, you can still do those fundamentals right now, right? Like right now. And so it's really going to come down to that, right? Are you doing those fundamentals right now? And like what Taco said in the first question, he talked about mindset, right? Have you got your head screwed on right? You need to get it. You need to get that straight and then focus on doing, right? That's my really quick take on whether, you know, there'll be retrenchment or not.
Okay, so Coach Taco.
Yeah, kind of on the same line. Yeah, with Alex, you know, real estate has always been a very low retention. You talk about retrenchment, but real estate also always has been a low retention business cycle, if you will, right? You know, many people that join the real estate don't understand the professionalism, the specialty that you need to build in a certain amount of time. They compare too much with a regular job or with a regular, you know, employment, right? And they realize that it's close to entrepreneurship. You know, retrenchment, yes, many people will not be able to make it during this time, but they wouldn't have been able to make it during normal times, right? Because that's just what real estate is all about. You need to have you need to build a specific set of skills. Then you need to be comfortable with building marketing. You need to be able to be comfortable with, you know, doing the sales, it's always getting out of your comfort zone. So yes, a lot of people will leave, but I do believe that close after the MCO, a lot of people will again join the real estate. I think people that either lost their job or people that have been, you know, seeking opportunity, you know, I think that cycle will keep going in real estate. So it not really a retrenchment, I think more a replacement of people, you know. So I think a lot of people will leave because they just don't find it fun. They didn't find it fun anyway, so they were able to leave anyway. But then again, people will see the opportunity after the MCO. They say, hey, maybe I should go in there. Actually, a lot of agencies that we talk to, that we work with, they do pretty well with recruitment right now. They're recruiting a significant amount of people based on the story of, hey, you know, come, let's try, right? There's a lot of opportunity out there in the market. Things are going to change. You want to give it a shot, and that's how they recruit.
Yeah.
Cool. I just want to know, because like for each real estate agents, they have to go through MIEA to get their licensing to sell houses in Malaysia. So do you think that MIEA should help real estate agents during these times? Who wants to go first? I'll let you guys choose.
Well, you know, oh, sorry, Alex.
I mean, my answer was very straightforward. It was like a no. That was my first thought. Hi, Cheetah. Hello, what's up, Cheetah? I see Yasser that he needs to buy a bunker. I like that. Sorry, Taco. Yeah.
MIA. Well, first of all, you don't have to go specifically through the MIA. To become, you know, there's something in Malaysia. It's called the NCC, right? The Negotiator Certificate course that you need to get. There are different providers that give class in the NCC. It's a 2-day class, and after the 2 days, without any exam, you basically get your negotiator certificate. And with that certificate, you can go to an agency and apply for a real estate negotiator tag. And congratulations, you are now a real estate negotiator. You're allowed to sell property. So, you know, coming back, you know, again, real estate is an entrepreneurial business. You have to kind of compare it like you are in business, you know, by your own. You're everything begins and ends with you. You know, that is how it works. So I think you should have kind of compared with how all SMEs and small business, small solopreneurs deal with their business, and how they have been helped and supported by the government in that single way. You real estate agents are not that much different. They're a great initiative within the agencies, so not specifically the MIA, but within agencies to help agents pull through this time, this difficult time where transactions are not easy to make. I think the agencies have to step up here to see how they can help each other pull through and build on that. And the MIA is doing a great job, but they have a great role because they're very well linked, with the board of various estate agents and property managers into supply them with the right information and also with the right guidance of what would be the necessary steps to take to improve the real estate market, but also the real estate business altogether.
Okay. I was wondering if you guys read news 4 days ago. It mentioned that MIEA warns the public about buying their properties online during MCO. They may fall prey on all these online platforms. And they said that you should always look for the highlighted REA numbers or REN numbers that are protected by the government. What do you think about this news? Alex first lah.
Yeah, I mean that is really I think that would be standard practice, and I'm talking about standard practice from the aspect of a buyer or even a seller at the same time, right? When you're engaging an agent, you need to do that. It's proper due diligence, right? So know who you're working with. I would add on to that and say that because I've also heard that there are a lot of people out there who are waiting. They're waiting for opportunities, right? There are a lot of people struggling as well. I know that, but at the same time, the people are just like waiting, like crouching tiger, hidden dragon. They're just waiting to get onto something. Yeah. But I would tell these people to kind of like relax a little bit, calm down, and make sure just don't get too emotional, right? Even though it's a very emotional time, but that's like precisely what we need to not do. The meaning, stay calm.
Right? Okay.
Judy.
Taco?
Yeah. I have a specific opinion about that, but I don't know if it's smart to say that here. Being a Quilo and all, and just
do it.
What I think.
You got me, partner. You got me, partner. Just do it. Yeah, I'll be your tech.
Let me just say that about it. It's easier said than done, right? At the end of the day, the market is looking for a solution, and I think it's good. Of course, you want to encourage people to follow the guidelines that are being given by the authorities. That's very good. But it doesn't matter what we think. It matters what the market thinks. If the market can find a way that is easier, more convenient, and sometimes more cheaper, that's the way that they will go, and they won't care about a number, a tag, or whatever it is. Of course, they have to be careful, that, they have to fall under the regulations and they need to be protected, right? That is something that the MIA is doing very well, and the Board of Values and estate agents and property managers can ensure that whenever you are dealt with somebody with a real estate negotiator tag, you have a certain amount of protection. However, in these unprecedented times, it's going to be more about speed, convenience, who is presenting themselves as the specialist. And so I find it good in the media that they say, be careful. Of course, you have to be careful. But like I said, it's a little bit easier said than really done, because eventually people in the market are just going to say, okay, who can help me? And if you can present yourself as the best solution provider, they're going to hire you anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Because I think the public is looking at websites nowadays. I think they do want to buy property, but they're just going through some websites to check out some properties that they can afford during MCO. Because we spoke to someone last week. We spoke to Kopi and Property Charles. We spoke to him and he said that, actually, if you have the money now, just buy a property and wait for it to grow in times to come, because property will continue to appreciate than to depreciate, right?
Yeah.
Well, that depends a little bit. I hope he gave a little disclaimer there at the end.
that was one factor, out of many.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that the government should also have stimulus packages for real estate agents during MCO, other than the packages that already have for all the B40 groups, other groups and stuff? But should they have a specific stimulus package for real estate agents during this time? Anyone first? It's okay. Whoever want to go first is fine.
Okay, I let me have a go at this one, right? Because you talk about the stimulus package. From what I see, and governments around the world are all doing this as well. And I have thought about it. It's not easy for a government to kind of like plan all this. And the truth. I mean, again, we talk about this all the time. We're all going through the same thing, right? Taco and I interviewed another person last week, and they also said that everyone's a level playing ground now. We're all on the same level now, right? But the real truth is that there are a lot of people who are below, who have no ability, right, to literally live, right? And I think that's looking at it at a higher level. I think that's what the government should do. That would focus on. So, whether they would give provide a stimulus package for real estate agents, you know what? I'm going to say this, right? Personally, if I was like a part of government, like prime minister, I'll probably not, because the way I probably wouldn't. It's quite controversial, right? I probably wouldn't, but wait a minute. Coach, you're supposed to be on our side.
Yeah, we should be out. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, but let me explain. The thing is that this is what my viewpoint of real estate agents, right? And it still remains. It's because people who join a real estate are people who have courage. Okay, they're not like most people. People, they actually took the leap of faith. Like, I'm gonna go jump into uncertainty and do something about it. And personally, for me, from a individual level, I think people like that, they will find a way to survive. Right? They will definitely find a way to survive, man. These are go-getters. We're talking about go-getters here, right? And yeah, go-getters don't make up a big part of the population, and that's why real estate agents, we only like 30,000 in Malaysia out of like 32 million people, right? That's an inflated number as well. So yeah. So that's my stand, right? So what I'm trying to say is that I believe that all real estate agents are strong. You guys are strong. You can handle your stuff, right? So that's why I don't think you would need a stimulus package. I hope that's
safe. I think okay lah.
Yeah, That Cheetah says courage and cash. That's true. You need courage and some cash. Yeah.
Okay, what about Coach Taco?
Of course, they can always look at it. Like, I think they compared also a little bit what's happening in Singapore. I think for Singaporeans, the Singaporean agents are getting a little stimulus package, but it will obviously it will never be enough, right? It will not be enough to keep floating, right? And the question is also, because in real estate, you also have to look a little bit at the performance and productivity. Is everybody getting the same? And that's almost the only way that they can do it. Maybe give 1,000 ringgit a month to all the agents. Yeah. So what happens from there? There is just not much more that they would be willing to do. So I don't think it will solve the problem. It will not solve the issues. And maybe would give a little bit of a relief. A little bit of securing a little bit the basics for Asians. But at the end of the day, how long can they do that? How is that divided? Remember in real estate, the 20%, the 80-20 rule, to be easy, 20% of the agents bring in 80% of the transactions in Malaysia. And registered, we have, nobody really knows, but registered, we have between the 30 to 35,000 registered real estate negotiators. Nobody knows how many really are active within that community, right? So the question would be hard for government to see, like, how would the package like that work? Because who's going to get it and who's not going to get it?
Yeah, correct. Because we see a lot of stimulus package being offered, but the government didn't speak about the people who are those without a basic. Those with commission based, like real estate agents. So we just wanted to know how it's gonna be like for these people. And the next one would be, what are the key things that real estate agents should take note of during MCO?
During MCO.
Other than
why first of all, why did you read it like that? Why did you
I don't know, it's just like monotone all the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask it again.
You are such a great host, and then you do so like.
Hold on. I see.
I'm gonna come again.
Can you maybe ask the question again, but more like it's a gala?
Okay.
Like it's a very special show.
So, coaches, we would like to know, what are the key things should real estate agents do and take note of during MCO?
Oh, nice.
Mike, please, Mike.
Very nice. Okay, Alex, what do you think?
What they should take note of during the MCO. Okay. First thing that comes to my mind is in relation to what we already talked about earlier on. Firstly, I think during the MCO, it's good to probably just do a detailed review on how far you've come along, and everything, including your cash, by the way, because we talk about agents being entrepreneurs as well. Me and Taco, we like to do that a lot, and I think if you want to really sustain yourself within the industry or just in business, every business owner is doing that right now, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do that. So I think that's probably the first thing that you need to just stay sharp, and that's how I would manage my mindset, and that's basically what kind of like. Yeah.
So does this mean financial planning for all the agents? They should really look at their finances and plan properly.
Yeah, but that's one half of it, right? And also look, and I was gonna say read the news, but be careful about reading the news also, because a lot of negative stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But read it to know what's happening around the world and how the world's gonna change, because we need to be ready for that. When all this settles down, right? I think it's starting to settle down a little bit. But so we need to be ready for that, right? And of course, I think lastly, it's like what we were talking about earlier in this conversation, was that they got to focus. I think agents should really focus on your fundamentals, right? Your key activities of building relationships with clients, making those calls, and marketing. Marketing is a big one.
Yeah. Okay,
So that's what
Coach Taco.
So what they should take note. Obviously, when something happens like this, or this actually never happens like this. This is a very unique situation. But once, like in a crisis, is that a lot of agents or everybody in the world is like, we are in times of uncertainty. I would like to challenge that a little bit. Is that we are in a very time of very much certainty. What means that we know exactly what's going on. And for many entrepreneurs and for agents, it's all about timing. And timing has never been more structured, laid out for you than ever before. So that means that when should I do what is the question always, right? When should I invest and not invest? It has not been clearer before on the opportunities that are coming and that are arising. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that means that you really have to first start doing some education about property cycles, economical cycles, crises. You should watch. You should watch big investors around the world that do many talks. TED Talks. You should listen to Ray Dalio. They explain very carefully and in very simple words how crises work and how people recover from crises and actually make a lot of money from that recovery phase. But that means that now that while we are going into the crisis, we just jumped in the crisis, that is a very important moment where you need to start preparing, you need to start mitigate, and you need to start planning ahead for what is coming. And Alex and I talked to too many people to realize that many of them are not doing that. They're waiting out, more like they're very passive. They're waiting like, hey, okay, let's see where this is going. You already know where this is going, right? People talk about U shapes or L shapes, whatever it is, but it is basically we're going down as a downtrend across all markets. That means now we have to prepare and mitigate, right? We need to mitigate our own finances. We need to mitigate our clients. We need to get control over this situation. And as soon as this MCO is lifted, there's going to be a rain. I literally mean a waterfall of offers and promotions coming out there in the market. If you queue up at the back, you're too late, because you should have done that work right now, preparing that for when that is going to happen. It has never been clearer, right? And once the offer and promotion comes out, what we call the stability phase, right? We go down, it's like that U shape, right? You go down from the downtrend, then we get in that stability phase, right? We count the wounds and we check ourselves. And then as a country, we have to slowly go into a recovery phase, right? So we have to start recovering again. The recovery phase is based on three things, basically, is what the government is doing for us. What I think Malaysia is actually not doing that bad. They're actually doing very well in making sure that we can go to there as soon as possible. Actually, the first thing is how fast we can get control over this whole virus, right? The second thing is the government. And the third thing is actually very simple. How well did developers and real estate agencies with their agents prepare themselves for that stability phase and to climb up again in the recovery phase? So it's a three-phase plan, basically. Preparation, mitigation right now. Once we get out of the MCO, the offers and promotions. And the third phase is the recovery. In that recovery time, you must be able to do two things: convert very fast and scale very fast. So you have to work with your team and make sure that you become the big winner of that recovery phase.
Okay, so this comes to my question. How long do you think a recovery phase would be for Malaysia's property market?
No.
How long a recovery phase would be for Malaysia's property market? Well, if I would have the answer for that, then first of all, I would be invited on many more interviews, first of all. I think the second thing, I would be called by the Prime Minister today and ask her if I could, give that good news to the market. This is a very tough question to answer, because, like I said, it has to do with three things. The first thing, it's all about how fast can we globally, not only nationally but globally, how fast can we control this virus, and can we get some positive news about that we're moving into the direction that it's safe again to do free business everywhere. The second thing is how stimulated the government will eventually be, how well effect that will have on our overall economy, because we have to bring back the what they call the confidence index, right? Has to go up again. That means that the people in the market need to have enough confidence again to start buying again, and that will also be related to job and unemployment, right? How many people actually suffered from this period of time? And then, of course, the third one, what I just said, is how well did the developers and agents prepare themselves to go out in the market again and put in the nice offers, the good promotions, how are they going to stimulate the buyer in saying, we are going to reward you to invest in times of crisis? If that happens very frequent and very consistent, you can see the numbers in China, right? Out of the 13 major cities, now in the last month of March, they had a record month of almost 200% growth year to year on property sales. The Chinese knew how to do this. They knew we were locked down, but the moment we are allowed outside, we're going to rock this boat immediately. We're going to shake everything up. We're going to have everything ready to reward the buyers to invest immediately after the lockdown. And they are succeeding in that. They're doing very well. The question is, are we doing the same things? Are developers preparing their offers, promotions? Are agents preparing their offers and promotions? So could be pretty fast, could be very good, but it all depends on how fast can we contain it, how strong will the stimulus packages work of the government, and how well are agents and developers prepared to go out.
Okay, so you, Coach Alex?
I think that was actually the first point I wanted to say, also, like globally and things like that. But I'll add on a couple of points, right? I think the thing about the real estate market is that, you know, we preach this all the time, Taco and I. Everybody needs real estate, right? And eventually, people, you know, people when they come of age, they're gonna need their first property. They're gonna need to upgrade. They're gonna need to downsize. You know, all this is gonna happen. And we talked a lot also about the different targets, you know, within, you know, because of this MCO, right? There's gonna be that we were just brainstorming on the different reasons that people would buy, right? You're gonna get a group of people who are basically have been stuck in their apartments, right? Who will finally realize that after a month, like, man, I cannot, this is too small. I need more space, right? You know, and things like that, you know, and I mean, they're gonna be like, that's one little reason, but they're gonna be multiple things that this is gonna happen. But the bottom line is that everybody needs real estate, so there will always be a demand for that. But the speed of growth is really gonna, like as Taco mentioned it all already, right? It's just gonna come down to, you know, what of course, you know, people getting jobs again, employment, and actually being able to pay for it. So it's a bit hard to say, really, but expect business to come. That's what I would say.
All right. So we have questions coming in our comments. I'm sure Coach Alex has realized, because I can see your eyes swiping. Hey, got comments.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna hear from Parishat Shaula first. Many countries are giving out stimulus packages and help for SMEs. If agents have their business structured in such a fashion, perhaps Malaysia may have something similar for them. What do you think?
Yeah, man, you can count on PC to do that.
PC is a very smart man.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, actually. I think if agencies in Malaysia were to structure their businesses differently, and in which I think it's already happening, and that may garner attention from the government, right? And depending on how agencies give jobs to people. I mean, with prop tech in the US, I don't know how it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to turn out, you know, after this whole, you know, coronavirus thing as well. Because you know, if that comes to Malaysia as well, you know, we could potentially generate more jobs, you know, it just depends on how people innovate within the real estate and structure proper businesses. Yeah, that's my take.
Okay. Coach Taco?
Yeah, you know, a lot of SMEs, what PC is talking about is, you know, a lot of SMEs are getting stimulus packages based on two scenarios. Either for an industry, it's the same amount across the board, right? Everybody gets the same amount. Or they relate it to a certain amount of revenue that they got at an earlier stage, usually 1 or 2 months before a lockdown or an MCO, right? Yeah. So this is how governments measure that. The problem is what he's saying basically. If real estate agents would structure their business better, we would basically know how much revenue an agents make per person, right? Or maybe per team, right? So then for a government, it would be easy to know, like, okay, if you over the past 6 months made 50,000 a month or 20,000 or maybe 10,000, then they could really easily create a system of stimulus package that could go out to these agents, right, based on the previous revenue. So I definitely believe that could be doing something the same. That we could relate the same to that as a real estate agency. Unfortunately, in Malaysia, but in many other countries in the world, many agents don't treat their career as a business, right? They treat it as an employment, right? So that money is going straight into their personal accounts, or then it's all based on personal tax, and then it would be a very different story.
Okay, so we have a question from Mohammed Sahaja. He says, "Hello, Coach Taco, Coach Alex, and Miss Gwen." Sounds so weird, Miss Gwen. Will it be effective if REA work with an influencer? Will it be effective if a real estate agent work with an influencer?
In what way?
Yeah, it depends on what kind of influencer, Mohammed, because I mean, if you're gonna work, I mean, obviously I'm gonna assume that you're talking about influencer within the real estate, I suppose, or maybe not. I mean, the idea is
maybe we can address it like, if you're talking about an influencer within the property market, like people who already know this person, such as Dato from Swing T, Dato.
Yeah.
Or Chui Ling, you know, those kind of property influencers. Gaminti, or another kind of influencers which we call KOLs on social media, like let's say someone that we know, Joseph Germani, or Cody and Tong Tong, you know, those kind of influencers. So maybe we can just address it in this two. Maybe we talk about influencers within the property first, then we talk about the influencers not from the property market.
Yeah. Actually, I was just gonna say, whether within the industry or not, it's gonna depend on the context of what you're gonna put out there, and nothing is worse than using using an influencer who is completely irrelevant to the real estate and completely, let's say, and the context is missing, right? When I think about such a combination, I can't help but think about one company around the world. I think a lot of you heard before, Herbalife, right? I'm not dissing Herbalife, okay? I'm not dissing Herbalife, but
I don't want Alex. I don't want. I told you 100 times I don't want.
I respect people who do who MLM and Herbalife, but I remember there was one time when I saw Cristiano Ronaldo on it, I was like, huh? How is that related to? I mean, yeah, Herbalife has got stuff, but sometimes that's the reaction that people will get. You know what I mean? Because when you put two faces together and then you go like, huh? It's like, I don't see the connection, and then it just kind of switches people off. So I think context is going to be important. If you get the context right, then it will be effective, right? It'll be effective. Yeah.
Okay. Go. Herbalife.
Yeah, right.
I'm not a big fan of Herbalife, but the influencers. So yeah, of course, it's always good to work with influencers because influencers, especially if they can endorse you in any kind of way, right? But let me tell you, Mohammad Sahaja, what works even better. If you can get endorsed by your clients, the clients that you have helped buy or sell real estate, if you can get their recommendations or even a video testimonial, and you publish that on your website or your Facebook or your whatever you have, as long as it's accessible for the public to see how great you are, that is the best influence marketing you can get as a real estate agent. If you can get clients to endorse you and how great of an agent you are, that is the best thing that you can do for your business. So influencers on top of that, could work. Some higher, what we like to call higher authority endorsement is always good, but it's one time. But if you can collect ongoing testimonials of your clients, I think that works better.
Okay. I think Mohammad Sahaja has got that. Okay, so we have another question from Jasmine Joseph. Her question is, what are some effective marketing strategies would you recommend for agents?
Okay, can I take this one, Alex?
Yeah, of course, man. I've been thinking. Yeah, go.
Okay. So the first thing that you have to know about marketing is that marketing is not about becoming the best marketing agent, right? We shouldn't be marketing driven. We have to be what we call market driven. There's a big difference, right? Not marketing driven, but market driven. So market driven means is that you have to ask yourself a very important question. Who am I helping? Yes, who am I helping? And how do they know that I can help them? If you can answer those two questions, then your marketing strategies become very clear. Because if I, Jasmine, have to give you a marketing strategy now, I don't know who your target market is. I don't know who you're dealing with. I don't know, are you selling $1 million properties? Or are you selling 200,000 ringgit dollar properties, right? Are you dealing with families? Are you dealing with singles? Are you dealing commercial? Every single market needs a different strategy approach, right? Now, if you talk about specific tools, right, what are not strategies but tools, are tools like what we're doing right now. As long as there's two important elements. It has to be consistent. You have to do it over and over again. So consistent and very frequent. Don't do it just one time. I have agents that came to me, they said, hey, I made a YouTube video, but I still didn't get any leads. Well, one YouTube video will not give you leads, but 100 YouTube videos over a year, that will definitely give you some leads. On top of that, So it's the consistency of content that you create and you distribute over a certain amount of channels. That is really the effective tools that you need. And the more online you go, Facebook Live, maybe you should try to do a webinar, and let some Facebook ads go to that webinar so you can do an online presentation. On top of that, one of the strong, effective marketing tools that I see today out there is just personal messaging through Facebook Messenger and Instagram messaging, right? I mean, email marketing is still okay, but you need big numbers to make that work. But Facebook messaging and Instagram messaging is very, very effective right now because it has a higher open rate and reply rates, right? So try those things out. But again, don't think about it like what is the best marketing. The question is, what is it that your market wants? Where are they looking? What solution do they want? What problem do they have? And is it that you can solve? If you can answer those questions, you will find the right matching marketing strategy for that.
Yeah. All right. So my next question is for Coach Alex, because in your recent article, Become the Master of Your Internal World,
whoa.
You've mentioned that the mindset is very important. So can you elaborate more on that? Like, why is mindset very important?
Mindset is very important in real estate because it's really all about, it comes down to that, one word, positivity, right? The thing is, I'll put it this way, right? One step at a time. When people buy through you as an agent, right? They buying through you. Yes, part of the reason is that because they have a need, right? But it's also because of you, right? So, and the thing about that is, if they're not gonna, and we do this in training all the time, right? They're not. Can you imagine somebody buying property in a bad mood, right? Like, just take my money, it doesn't make sense, right? But then but why I'm bringing that up is because, like, when we communicate with people, right, we also have an effect on how we make them feel, right? And we talked about this early on as well. Real estate is a people business. It's a relationship building business, right? And in order to build a relationship, right, you want to build a positive relationship. To build a positive relationship, you need to maintain your mindset up here, right? Because this is what happens, right? If you have a negative mindset, and I'll give you an example. For example, let's say all buyers are just rude and they're just rude, right? They're just demanding and rude. And if you keep that mindset within you, and then you go and talk to every other buyer, what's going to happen is you're going to behave as if this person is like, yeah, he's so rude, so demanding, and you probably have this face, right? I'm going a little bit deep in a sense, but what I'm trying to say is that, it's a very big question actually, Gwen, but the idea is that you need to be able to maintain it up here, right? So that when you communicate, you're communicating from a positive, perspective, right? And that makes you more approachable. It makes you easier, makes it easier for, to talk to you, right? But deep, that's between two buyers and as well as yourself, but internally yourself too, right? Because if you can manage your mindset, if you know how to calm yourself down, when you are calm, well, I can go really deep to psychology here, right? So, but the idea is that your body, right? There are two states. You got fight or flight mode, and you got your relaxed state, right? I'll give you a very quick crash course, right?
Okay.
To be in a relaxed state, you need to be in a positive mindset, and that means to practice to be grateful, to be whatever is happening, be content and stuff like that. Forgive people. Fight or flight is if you are in a bad mood, you're always stressing out. Now, did you know that if you are constantly in this fight or flight mode, your creativity drops. You cannot think critically. You're basically, the way you think, you become short-term thinking as well. And tell me, is that going to help you in your business? No. So, and now in this time is especially a good time for that because, we're surrounded by pain, right? We're surrounded by fear. Yeah. And I think, that's exactly the challenge, right? How can we maintain our mindset in this time and day? If we can, whatever comes our way in future, we'll be like, yeah, man, I got this. Stop, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So also in Taco's previous article, 6 things you need to know to become a better real estate team leader and sales manager. Do you think that team leaders now, real estate team leaders or sales managers, should step up and be a role model for their teammates or the people they manage to do better during these times in the property market?
More important than ever right now, right? I mean, the leaders are already the role models where many agents look up to, right? And you're very lucky if you have a good leader. But if you have a leader that, like Alex says, goes into a flight mode, yeah, then you have a problem as an agent, right? I mean, it's more important and I have seen it. We work with so many agencies and leaders that really have stepped up their game, right? They were able to adapt very fast, set up virtual meetings, adapt their training into the current situation, and they have gotten many results out of that. They're able to do transactions, to pump up their team, right, and make sure that they keep moving. So yeah, a leader position, a leader role is more important than ever right now. I do believe that team leaders or any kind of leader is the driving force of a real estate industry, because they are kind of the recruiters, and then they are the trainers, and then they push. And sometimes this is a little bit undervalued, even underappreciated, because these are very hardworking people. They do transactions themselves, then they have to lead a group of teams, a group of people. And now with this crisis, they even have to step up, right? They are working harder than ever, right? Because they have one-to-one meetings over Zoom, then they have team meetings, then they have client meetings, and then they have to prepare all the training. These guys are really, really working hard. So coming back to your question, it's more important than ever to step up, kind of hustle your way through this time. Yeah. But I'm definitely sure that good leaders will be rewarded for that, and agents will find them and recognize them as the right leader.
Yeah, I truly agree that people really do not appreciate their leaders enough, especially those really good leaders who take time to listen to you and help you get through. They really do not appreciate them. So I think that this is the time where the leaders should really get appreciation from their team members for being such awesome leaders and still leading the team during these times and trying to motivate you while they themselves motivate themselves to get through these times, right?
True. So much true. Yeah, very true.
Especially at both of you. Come on, guys, continue working. So you guys really need to be appreciated. Here's 2 hearts for both of you.
Thank you. I'll give you a heart. I'll pass you.
Okay, so we have a question from Fadila. So her question is, does virtual tour and digital marketing are as effective as selling properties at their own showrooms? What are the difference?
Only if you believe so. So very simple. If you believe that you can do it over a virtual tour and through digital marketing, yes, absolutely. I've seen it multiple times. It's definitely possible. It happens all across the world. But if you don't believe that it works, then it will not work, because your tone and your confidence and your whole positioning towards a tool like that, your buyers, your sellers will know that. And definitely, like anything in the world, it needs a couple of tries before it will succeed. If you have your first digital tour or virtual tour and it didn't go that well, and your client wasn't really that happy, and you walk away from that saying to yourself, that really didn't work, well, then it will never work forever, right? But if you try it like a couple of times, every time you will improve, you make that presentation better, and you create the conviction that you're able to sell a property through a virtual tour and using the right digital marketing strategies. I am 100% convinced and can guarantee you that it will work in many, many different ways for many, many types of clients, and especially in this time. Why? Because it already worked before the MCO. It already worked, right? But the big takeaway was that many of your clients just prefer to meet with you personally, right? Or you have never tried it before. Now that we are all inside and we're not really allowed to go outside, it's also the ideal way for your clients to be introduced to the way that we find alternative ways of selling and alternative ways of presenting. So I would go all out now. I would be trying to present 5-6 times a day, right? Get as many clients as possible. Even if you don't sell, doesn't matter. Use it as a good practice. Keep improving that presentation. Do it again, and make it a super goal of yourself to at least get one transaction done through that virtual tour. Trust me, once you do that first one, you have breakthrough through all the barriers. You have broken through your own beliefs, and you will do it forever. Trust me.
Yeah. Me too.
What about you, Coach? Same. Totally agree with Taco.
I'll you know what I'll do? I'll stretch it further in the sense like, look, it's like I said, like the world is changing, right? And and I was just having a conversation with Taco just like a couple of days ago. We need to challenge what we even thought was impossible yesterday. That makes sense. Like what we thought impossible yesterday, we need to rechange. We need to just relook into it, and then test, right? And test and see what we can do, because it's been happening. People are closing, right? So and through video, and in China as well, that's what's happening as well, right? People are buying properties through virtual tours and things like that, right? So now we just need to figure out the secret formula, right? Now people are being pushed into this. So can you figure out that formula?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And I think that everyone has lots of questions about what will it be for Malaysia? What will it be for the economy of Malaysia? What will it be for the property market of Malaysia, especially for investors who have invested loads into property to do Airbnb and hotels and all that? A hard question, but I think with your professional knowledge, you know how to answer this question. So what will it be like for the second half of 2020 for the property market of Malaysia? What will it be for the second half of 2020?
Let's see. April.
Maybe. I have the answer, but I'll give it to Alex because he's.
Is it? You're gonna give it to me? Is it? Okay. I got it. Okay, I got it. So
you transfer it to you like this.
Yeah. My first thought on that was that for the property market, I think it's a very simplistic answer though, and it's really a gut feel based on everything that we've shared today. Is that I think there'll definitely still be transactions, but I think the transactions that are going to happen are going to be people who are looking for their own use, right? I don't want to say own stay, but for their own use, right? In terms of investments, investors, there are many different types as well, right? So of course you're going to get those who are like, they're out there, they're looking for like the really good deal, right? Like 30, 40, 50% down. And so and that some of us will probably be able to meet those people. Some of us already have them within our network, so that's great. So I think there'll still be transactions, but I don't think the real estate market is gonna like furthermore, developers as well, they've been holding out for a while now. Hard to say how the developers are gonna take to it as well, because if they come up with like really good packages and promotions, like what Taco said earlier on, that might change things as well. That might drive people to buy. So it also depends on that, really. But my take is that it'll come in, but it won't it'll just be trickle, kind of like a U shape, right? So we're gonna be in a U.
Okay. What about you, Coach Taco? I still have to ask you because you're here. You cannot run away.
Was that the answer, Taco?
I'd say whatever Alex says. So second half of 2020, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, predictions are hard. I'm not a predictor, right? I'm not a deep data economical person, but I look at very simple facts and to very specific cycles, right? Again, it all depends on how fast we can contain this virus, right? So that's the little disclaimer here. It all depends how fast can we get that virus under control, because that is the that's now the root of all evil, right? That's the one that is
Yeah.
breaking everything for us, right? As long as we don't have that under control, we have nothing under control, right? But once we have that under control, we go into a stability phase first, right? So stability basically means we will have to figure out, okay, how far has the unemployment dropped, right? How much stimulus package, how much money did we actually lend, to keep this economy going? And then we will get a slow calculation of two things, of the how much we have missed out on our growth for this year, based on what our original growth was for the country. And the second thing that we will figure out is basically how long would it take us to basically pay all of that stuff back again, right? Now, based on those two numbers, I think we would need economically, we would need all of 2020 to go through that stability phase, and that we only will reach the recovery phase in 2021. However, I do believe that great investors, people that have the credit, the equity, and the possibility to get money, that they will be stimulated to buy in 2020, because the market couldn't reach a lower point than that. And any great trader or investor will always tell you, you have to buy low in order to sell high. So it will be a great timeline for 2020 for a lot of investors to come in, to see what are the offers, what are the promotions. The thing about the promotions for the subso market is, we have now this 6 months moratorium, what means that, people have kind of like, they have air for the next 6 months. So the interesting part will be is what happens after those 6 months. After those 6 months, you will figure out how many people really have a unfortunate situation with their property right now. How many of them will come on the market? For how low will they come on the market? What kind of property price correction will we see? I think that will be higher than most people are predicting. I think that would be because Malaysia was already waiting for a correction there. And then investors will drop in. So I think September, October, November are going to be 3 very interesting months for Malaysia if it comes to the property market. But 2021, I think we can go into that recovery phase. What is a very nice phase, it's very nice to recover back at where we were. And then technically we should go soon to the explosive phase, right after that, what hopefully is a year or maybe 2 years later. But 2020, see it a little bit as a messy year, a year where we all kind of went into the washing machine, and we all come out all confused and like, oh, what just happened, right? And we will have to pick up where we left off and see how we strategically build up that economy again. What I'm sure Malaysia has the capabilities, they're very smart people to do that. We are Malaysia is a very thriving country, very productive country, right? We can work pretty hard, and based on that, but that is a very important thing for recovery, right? That doesn't happen in many countries that fast. We just, in Malaysia, if you're allowed to work, we work very hard, and that's very important for an economy. So I hope that will lift ourselves into the recovery much faster than some people predict.
Okay, I think it's very, very insightful. It's very honest, I would say, very, very honest. I think everyone needs to accept that this year is going to be tough, that 2021 is going to really be the recovery year for everyone in Malaysia. It doesn't matter which industry you are in. It is for the whole of Malaysia, the whole economy of Malaysia, not only just the property market. Very, very nice. Okay, so we have another question from Rahman Khair. He asks, I came across an estate agent who wanted partnership during this season we are going through. Will it be wise? What is your opinion on this? And do you have any advice if the partnership is a go? I think his partnership meaning we should partner as agents and sell this project. Whoever wants to go first.
1, 2, juice. Okay, I'll just
rock, paper, scissors.
or rock, paper, sit.
What is that?
That's lava. It beats everything. It's lava.
Yeah, okay. I guess the fist works, right?
Okay, go. Alex, I give it to you then. I give it to you.
Okay. 3, actually, I saw your question, Raman. I'll tell you what Taco and I actually did when we first started our business, right? And I'm actually should I put some bromance on this? Yeah, I'm very grateful for my partner, man, my business partner, Taco, right? I'm really grateful for him. But let me tell you how we started, right? We were even Gwen was like, "Oh man."
No, I see Taco's face, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, what's going on? Okay, never mind. Okay. Anyway, Raman, so coming back to your question, right? 3 things come to my mind. Okay, number 1, are your goals aligned on a very high level, right? Do you have similar goals? Is it, and what I mean by goals is it could be short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals. It can be just for the MCO. That's fine, up to you, right? Make sure the goals are aligned, right? Second thing is, what are your values? When I say values, are they aligned? What I mean by values is how does this person handle adversity or pain, right? Because usually when there's pain, their real behavior comes out, right? And the thing about getting into partnerships, just like Taco and myself, actually our values are very much aligned, right? We are very, very aligned, right? We even though we're from different parts of the world, but we find that our values are very aligned. That's why we've actually managed. We've not really had any fights over the past 3 years. We've had disagreements, but not really fights, right?
Yeah, but I was many times.
It's like a happily married couple, man. Yeah, man. Okay, sorry, I made it weird.
They are both very single, I think. So please.
No, this one not really.
No, not really. Yeah. Oh, okay. Then Alex is very single, so don't think so much, guys. Just to let you guys know the disclaimer, they're just having a bromance for partnership, okay?
Yeah. And if you want Alex's phone number, you can reach out to me. I will give it to you. If Alex is single, so
okay.
I'm kind of his screener. I'm his filter.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so Raman, so goals is one thing, values is another thing. Now, how would you determine what somebody's values are? You can probably ask them a question like, how do you handle pressure, for example, right? It's like an interview question, but it will tell them a little bit about how they react, right? If they say something like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill the guy, man," give me pressure, I'll kill him, So if that's the answer, you know what's gonna happen when you guys get into a disagreement, right? So I'm just telling you a little bit about how we think. So that's the second thing. But you can go online to look at this. Quite a lot of stuff online you can do. The third thing is communication, right? Communication is such a big thing. Like Taco and I, one of the first handshake gentleman's agreement that we had was the very first one we did. We handshake was we would always communicate openly with one another. We got doubts, we will communicate, right? And sometimes it's normal. We like he can sense when I got something in my mind, and sometimes I can sense what's on his mind. Then we'll just communicate, right? So go and have a look at tools like the DISC, for example, because this will help you to understand your communication profile and then how you guys communicate together, right? So these 3 things come together, and if all this is right, then you got a right foundation. Then you probably got a good foundation for a partnership. That's what I would say. Right. And yeah, that's basically it, right? Where you want to go from there is entirely up to you and this guy. Yeah.
Okay.
That's some nice advice, Alex. Some nice advice.
Hey, real life experience. Yeah.
Raman, since we are being very honest here right now in this very nice session here at Property Queen TV, the whole thing about partnerships. Partnerships are really difficult. I feel, I'm just going to give you an honest answer. I feel that people go into partnerships too easy, right? Because they look at the best scenario outcome, but the chances of that best scenario outcome is not very big, actually, right? Because like what Alex said, most of the people go into partnerships with different goals, and that already starts wrong. Then they go into partnership with different values. They believe differently about certain things. That's also different. And then the question is, and that's even most difficult one, how is the company culture? Not very big, actually, right? Because Alex, why did I hear myself double?
Sorry, I just clicked it on my phone.
And then so Raman coming back, and then you have the company culture, right? So it's just very, very difficult. I actually spoke to a lot of mentors of mine in the past. I don't fully agree with them, but they didn't believe at all in partnerships if it didn't start equally, right? So what means that they started the company or anything equally from the ground up. Many people don't believe in acquisitions, right? Because they feel that taking over a culture is very hard because it's not easy to change a culture. So all these things you have to look at, it's a tough thing that you're looking at. You're saying, during these times and during these, during this COVID-19 time, this estate agent is looking for a partnership. So how is this partnership structured, right? Is it a shareholding partnership, or is it like Gwen said, we're working together on a project together, right? What is the outcome, right? Is there an exit strategy for this partnership? What if we don't like each other, right? What is going to happen? So there's many questions you need to ask yourself, but before you go into anything, make sure you have about 20 to 25 meetings with each other. Before you agree with each other. If you still like each other after the 25 meetings, then you could potentially give it a go. But make sure you make good rules before you start.
Okay, Alex is like 25, do we?
Yeah, maybe 25, maybe even more, like 30 meetings. Yeah, before. I would do that. I wish Alex and I had more meetings in the beginning.
No, I think what you say is true. I think before you easily trust someone and go into a partnership with somebody, business or anything at all, make sure you totally understand the person first, have the same views, and really just talk it out. You cannot be partnering with someone who's like, can, and then at the back it's like, this fella, I say can, I don't want, we don't want that kind of thing going on in the company. It'll be really unhealthy.
Gwen, you hit on a very, very big point. Actually, was a lot of Malaysians actually do that. They keep it inside. They don't want to communicate.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And I see that Mohammed Saya says 30 meetings. Yeah, 30 meetings. That's the number that I would think of. I think too many partnerships start too easily, right? People have 1-2 meetings and they say, okay, sounds good. Let's give it a go. Let's try, right? Only ending up in the worst lawsuits, law cases, or ending up with big fights. But that we didn't. I thought that we were agreeing on this. Well, you didn't think, you just didn't prepare well, right? If there's this famous saying of Mr. President Lincoln. They say, if you want to chop down a tree, if you get 8 hours to chop down a tree, you want to sharpen the axe for 6 hours, right? You need to take more time in the preparation, because the more you solidify that foundation of a partnership, the more smoother it will go later. But if you go too easy in that partnership, I will tell you personally, I lost more partnerships than I've gained. And I cannot blame my partners for that. Many of those partnerships was my mistake, because I stepped into it assuming it had a specific outcome. But my partner, he had a different vision, he had a different way of thinking, and he had many different values. So I knocked my heart pretty hard, and it is nothing personal. It's nobody's mistake. It's just we didn't take enough time to create that foundation of what real partnership is about. And that's why you see all across the world, there are actually not many great partnerships that went very well. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak weren't great partners. Bill Gates and Paul Allen were not great partners. All these people are typical examples, if you read their books, that they came together, didn't think much about the partnership, and later on they got in huge fights and huge lawsuits because they wanted both different things with the company. So think hard, 30 meetings before you say yes.
I think assumptions also play a big role in this, because Malaysians, no offense, but we like to assume things. I like to assume things. Everyone likes to, I assume you were going to take the papers, what? I thought you will take the, this kind of thing does happen. So assumption is also a part of it. So yeah, I think you guys gave a really good answer to Rahman. So I hope Rahman is still watching and he will take this comments from our coaches. Okay, advertising time, guys. So please do share to our audience on your online classes.
Taco?
Huh? Which online class?
You can promote whichever you want to right now.
Can you introduce me, Alex? I will come in then, yeah?
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the one and only, right? In Malaysia, you're not going to find another Mat Saleh Kuala coach, in the real estate. He is none other than my beautiful partner. He's not Malaysian. He's from Holland. He is none other than Mr. Taco Hiding.
That was pretty good. It was really good. So what do you want me to talk about? Sorry.
That's a good entrance, but I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah, sorry. I missed my cue. Where's my cue? Oh, our online classes. Oh, okay. So this is the easy thing, if you are a real estate agent right now and you're struggling a little bit and you want to know more about how to adapt your business to the current situation in the future, right? The innovative way of agent, we have an amazing platform called Pure. Pure stands for Prop Coach University of Real Estate. It's a online platform where you can find online training, you can find scripts, templates, sheets, everything you need for your real estate business. And on top of that, we also have our little Facebook group community where all our real estate agents are in, where they can ask questions to either Alex or myself. And we provide weekly training in there. We upload all the templates. We just released a new template that's called the Real Estate Negotiator Checklist. It's a success checklist of the daily activities you need to do right now as an agent to be productive and well-performing in the real estate. Now, many people came to us, we used to charge 98 ringgit per month for this platform, but of course, because of the COVID-19, we also have to make sure we do our part of the contribution. So now, very simply, it's 98 ringgit for a full year. So you get access to everything, no hidden cost, no weird upsell or whatever it is, just 98 ringgit for the full year. You're in and you enjoy 1 year of Prop Coach University of Real Estate.
Yep. Then no, it's not too good to be true. It's true.
It's not too good to be true. It is. No. It is. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. I cannot even know. I don't even know why we're doing this. But
I don't know either. So
what is your link address for this so that I can key it in so people can just click and look for you guys?
It's propcoach.co/pure PURE.
Propcoach.co/pure. PURE.
Yeah.
Okay. www.propcoach.co/pure.
/
is very important. Yeah. Make sure you include the triple. Yeah. Make sure you include the triple W as well. Yeah.
Correct.
Should be working. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Looks good.
Yes.
That's right, guys. So if you are a real estate agent, we hope that you guys can join our prop coaches on their online classes. It's only 98 a year. It was 98 per month. Now it's 98 per year. So do join them to give you more insights, more lessons on how to be a real estate agent and how they can help you get through what you can't get through. And if you have any questions at all, please do ask them. And if you want Coach Alex's number, remember to text Taco. Taco will give number.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because Coach Taco said he wants to filter first.
We have tried this for 3 weeks now but nobody has called in yet, Alex. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you can Zoom date now. Zoom date, and then Coach Taco can just tag along and have a look at your Zoom date.
Yeah. I pass the scripts to Alex. I give the scripts.
True. Once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so much for watching. We'd like to give a really special thanks to Prop Coach. We'd like to thank Coach Taco Hedinger and Coach Alexander C. Thank you so much, and I hope all of you who are watching today can take away all the important points from this live show. So stay tuned for more live shows like this. We have one happening tomorrow at 2 p.m. as well with the Group Director of Affirm Plus Properties, Mr. Matthew Yap, to talk to you about how 10 ringgit a day, if you save 10 ringgit a day, you can actually buy a property later on. So make sure to stay tuned and we'll see you guys soon. Make sure to follow Prop Coach on their Facebook page, which we have also put it in our comments. Follow them, like them, learn from them, and of course, you just have to love them. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you in the next broadcast. Bye.
Bye-bye.